Why not give the show a call on 01413561972?
Rangers up in the scoring! Up in Tawdry! 12 minutes of the match remaining! A stunner from Kenny Miller! Rifles it into the roof of the net!
Or send Fox a friend request on Skype at RangersRadio.online.
He's gone into the middle, McSwegan's in there too. Will he come for McSwegan? There's his header, and he scores! What a substitution! Running inside, is he gonna let flies in? He scores! Good ball! Scores for Rangers! Nacho Lobo with one kick of the ball to take Rangers to Manchester. Rangers are coming! The Scots are heading for Manchester, and you know what? Manchester may not be big enough.
Remember, it's all about the Rangers.
Well, good evening and welcome to Rangers Radio. Join myself, Fox, here on the panel this evening as the one and only Bridgeman and Fox. How are we doing, gentlemen?
How are we doing, lads?
Can I say a big good evening to the boys in the panel here, and a huge good evening to the guys in the lobby and to all the Rangers fans all over the world. Good evening and welcome to Rangers Radio.
70s the new 55, Bridger.
That's what they reckon, yeah. That's what although I don't quite feel it that way. But
and Fox, you've been called the wily one, I believe.
Used to me, mate.
Should have
not the wiry.
No,
a typo.
A wily old fox.
The wily one was mentioned today in some Rangers forum, the wily one. I like that. Suits some Bridge, doesn't it?
No, they're not far wrong, are they? Particularly, must have seen his haircut a couple of times as well.
Oh, I've heard him called a few times. It started with a W, but it wasn't wiry. So, obviously, try to talk about all things Rangers, but the Rangers news isn't going to start building up to after these internationals are finished, Fox. So, we're a wee bit of limbo in the hands of the callers out there, eh?
We are indeed, mate.
What do you think? Maybe we should phone them up. What do you think?
Just random guys and say, hello, this is Rangers Radio. What are you up to tonight?
You're pushing it at that, you know.
All the numbers we've got. Butterbeans just said, give me 2 minutes notice in case I'm busy. I don't know what he means by that. Anyway, look, we heard Mr. Murty last night. We're building up to the game on Saturday. The league momentum's went with the last couple of results, Fox. But I think it's important we can go to Motherwell and win the match. Yeah?
Going to be a tough ask, mate. We've had hard times there the last couple of seasons, mate, and a few of the games. They're a big, robust side, heavy in the tackle, as we've found out, and some of our players have found it even harder. I don't know, mate. I think we'll be pushing it for a 1-0 win away from home on Saturday, mate.
Right. What frightens you, the physicality?
Physicality, mate, the pack of defence. Sometimes, I mean, they're quick on the break. They've got a couple of speedy wingers there, so we'll need to get our formation and our players right. I think by watching the training videos, there's a couple of them starting to come back towards near fitness to be included in the squad. So we'll need to see if we get any surprises on Saturday. Maybe one making a comeback, you know.
I believe that what I've read today, that the young boy McCrory's back in training. Are you happy with that, Bridge?
Oh, aye. The way we play our football, he was actually key, wasn't he, to the way we sort of a strength in midfield and things like that. His winning the ball was excellent, and his strength moving forward and things like that. So every team needs somebody to be able to do the spade work there, you know. So yeah, but welcome back.
I think we're going to watch. We don't heap too much pressure on the boy Fox. I mean, he's a boy that's come in at centre half. He looked a better player, in my opinion, in defensive midfield. And I know he's maybe played there as a boy, but he's learning his craft. We don't want to put too much pressure on the boy. We want him to get better, improve, and he should be in and out the team as he earns his stripes.
I think he's the best central defensive midfielder we've probably got, mate. And I know he's only started playing that position this season because they were easiness for teams to break through the middle on us. He's been a real good stopper in the middle of the park, strong in the tackle. I think he'll just get better. I think he'll be one of the players, depending on the formation we play, mate. If he holds on to that central midfield role, that he'll move back to the centre-back position as he gets a wee bit older. I don't think it does him any harm to show how good a football player he is as well as being a defender. I think he's good on the ball. He's good passing. As I say, he's strong. He can run with the ball as well. We have really missed that young boy, and it's a terrible thing to say when he's only 19, coming on to 20 or something.
He shows a lot of comfort in the ball. He's comfortable in that position. He's comfortable on the ball. And normally centre halves in general, not quite as comfortable as that boy says. So which tells me he's not really a centre half. I think that it will be a really good defensive mid, without a doubt. He has all the makings for it. He's got the height. He's got the build. Really good. Really good.
I mean, what impressed me was his speed about the park, Bridge, when he played in the position.
He's got it all. He's got it all.
At
Oxford, I was listening to something the other night there, and they were speaking about English football, and they were speaking about midfielders. The midfielders are coming in, and some of these guys are way over 6 feet, but my goodness, they're mobile, just like you're speaking about. Easy, eat up the ground very easily with the ball at their feet. They've got great comfort, awareness, everything round about them. But that all comes from the core, the really strong core and very fit people, and away they go.
What would you? I mean, it's called defensive midfielder or whatever you want to call it. For us, our sort of, you've been 55, Bridget. It's a ball winner, isn't it? It's a traditional ball winner. And I never seen the guy play, but they talk about maybe Dave Mackay was fantastic in that position. I mean, he didn't have the height that McCrory's got, but by all accounts, he could play, he could win the ball, he could make things happen. A great player, but who as a ball winner in a team, who's the ones that stand out for you? Rangers and maybe with Rangers as well, Bridge?
Well, one of the best, two of the best I've seen as ball winners was Terry Hurlock.
Right.
And both, wherever he played, whenever you see him, he was really good on the park. And I believe it or not, Vinnie Jones, I thought Vinnie Jones was excellent winning the ball. Mind you, that was because of fear, I think. Everybody was scared of him. You've got to think of, believe it or not, when he played in midfield, John Gregg. Gregg won the ball very well.
You've just Fox has just put a line right through that one.
Sorry. No, there is a load of Ian Ferguson, as we say. He served Rangers a long time. I'm not saying, but you've got guys who they did it in fear. Vinnie Jones did a lot of it. People were scared of him anyway. But you see, Roy Keane was a tremendous ball winner. But one of the reasons was
didn't he do so well against Clyde?
No. I'm saying one of the reasons was because there was a lot of fear. People knew him in the English league, and they kept well out of his way. And if he's coming in for the ball, they nearly always let him win it, which made it easier for him. And that was just fear. And when they come up to Scotland here, they didn't have that necessarily that fear. And I think he'd have been wary of doing whatever they wanted to do. Now these guys were all good at winning the ball for different reasons. But Hurlock, for me, one of the best ball winners I've ever seen.
I wouldn't have picked that. I mean, he was a great tackler, wasn't he? He was that long. Scored a goal against them. If I remember right, did he score a goal against them? I'm going to check that out.
I'm sure he did.
I
wouldn't look at Hurlock. If you said to me, great players against anybody, no, Hurlock wasn't an attacking player. What he did to me, he won the ball and he went into done the dirty work and into the hard tackles. And was sometimes very, very clever tackler. Sometimes he hurt people with things like that when he went in. a wee bit dirty stuff. But invariably, he won the ball, and that's what Rangers wanted, and that was good for me. And I thought he was one of the best ball winners we've ever had.
Played for us 35 times, Bridge. Scored 2 goals. I'm just checking out who they were against. A 1-1 draw against Celtic. Now, I'm trying to remember, was that the game, and this is from memory, where there was no Celtic fans at it?
It probably was, actually.
1990. Anyway, I'll check that out as well. But Terry Hurlock, scored in the 65th minute, and I think it was an equaliser. All right, I've got my own particular one that maybe stands out in world football at the moment, but what about yourself, Fox? Ball winners, traditional ball winners that we're talking about, McCrory. Who do you see? Rangers, first of all. I know you would have went for John Gregg, I know that.
No, I probably went for Souness, mate, and his pomp was probably a real strong tackler. Going back further, I think you couldn't fail to mention Bobby Moore, who was a great ball winner. For a centre-back, mate, I liked him. Modern.
You based yourself on him, didn't you? And your hair.
At least I had fun the woman who used to go out to me, never mind that. Anyway, there was in the olden days there was loads of ball winners.
In the olden days.
No, well, tackling's been taken out of the game, mate.
Mm-hmm.
If you go in with any force now, it's a foul against you. It's the modern centre back now has got to be a ball player rather than a ball winner for me, and that's the way in modern football it's changing. Even centre backs now, the strongest in the tackle I've seen lately is a big boy Keepery, who we'll be playing against on Saturday, mate. He's a bit rash at times, but he's a true ball winner at the back. I don't think we'd be too mad not to have a look at him, mate. He's only 21 and he's rough as they come, mate, but he could be maybe taught into be more disciplined. I think he's the strongest tackler for me in Scottish football at the moment.
Good comment. And George Logan put one in the lobby, Stuart McCall. I liked Ian Ferguson one, but I think that in the last sort of generation, if I don't think Arsenal have ever replaced him, is that Patrick Vieira.
Oh,
wonderful. But he was also constructive. That's what I was meaning about being not just a sort of a ball winner. He could take the ball, even take the ball back off people. But he has a beautiful stride on him with the ball at his feet, Wonderful. Ate up the ground, as we were saying a minute ago. And before you know it, he's in the middle of the opposition half and he's causing absolute havoc. And a huge big stride, my goodness gracious. And him and the wee Irish guy I mentioned from
Keane.
What's his name again? Roy Keane. Him and Roy Keane had a few run-ins, and I would like to have seen
in the tunnel.
In the tunnel as well. I'd like to have seen that. I think he told Vieira, if you want to try it on with anybody, you try it on with me. Let's get out in that park and we'll sort it out. And Vieira never went near him, but he had a swing at him in the tunnel a couple of times. But Vieira was given the verbals, as a lot of teams do. A lot of wind-up, a lot of verbals in the tunnel, And Keane pulled him up and told him, took a swing at him and told him, you want to say in here? Let's say it out there. Wait till we get out there and we'll sort it out, I think a big fella just backed away from him,
6'4" Vieira. A class
on the
act.
park, a machine, isn't he? A machine. Absolutely wonderful to watch. Murder to play against, I can imagine. Wonder to play.
And that's the thing about people in that position. McCrory, what's McCrory, about 6 foot?
6'2" or something like that, 6'2", something like that,
So, he's got pace, he's got power, asset in both box, winning headers for you in midfield, making tackles, passing the ball. The boy's got it all to play in that position, Fox.
And he's still young, mate. He'll get better and better for me. He's sometimes a wee bit rash in the challenge, and I've thought a couple of times that he'll receive a lot of injuries because it's the knee hold back way that he goes in for the ball that getting injured might be part of his life because it's the way he plays. But he's young, he's enthusiastic, and again, discipline. Once you get that discipline in him, knowing when to challenge, and how to challenge. You only get that through experience.
Whereabouts in the park it is, what the score is, what the game is, all part of experience, Bridgeman, eh?
Oh, absolutely, pal. Absolutely. I think, you see the likes of the boy, McCrory, you desperately need a person like that to do the sort of the patrolling just 10 yards in front of the defence. And when any second ball comes in, he should be able to pick it up and distribute the ball or run with it himself. One of your difficulties, if you let your defensive midfield run up, if you get the same problems you get with your fullbacks. Your fullbacks run up, they leave that space. So it's got to be worked out and balanced, I've got no complaints at all about Tim McCrory and the way he's played for us. But we've spoken about it before. Sometimes he's inexperienced, and before you know it, he's in that big bit of space in the opposition half, in the middle of the opposition half. And when the ball gets chipped over his head, it turns around, there's dead space there. And it's a big fight for the ball, second ball, It can be difficult.
Who was the one at Liverpool, Bridge, with a moustache? He was wasn't he, Terry something? Came back when Hansen and that and Dalglish were playing.
Terry McDermott.
Terry McDermott.
He was one as well. Stuart Pearce was another tough tackler, mate.
One of the toughest tackles, of course, if you're just talking pure tackling, was Tommy Smith for Liverpool.
That's
Tommy
Smith
got right through you. Yeah, right through you, no problem.
There's that George Logan again, came in with one, and how I never mentioned it, my good friend Kevin Thompson, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, once again, you see Kevin Thompson, no, I was going to say ladies' mark, he set his stall out, and he would go in and clatter people, obviously trying to take the ball, or maybe even taking the ball and the man, which is one of the old ways of setting your stall out and marking your territory, if you want to call it that. But those times where when it was a man's game, and I mean that sincerely, because it was man against man, it was simple as that on the park. Nowadays it's different, because you've got to watch what you're doing and watch how you do things, because you're part of this, shall we say, this shape. And if you lose the plot, the team loses the shape, and if the team loses the shape, they lose the ball, and so on and so forth, and it all snowballs down on top of you. And that's a big difficulty we've got.
We've both got a question for the lobby for you, Bridge. Yeah, it came for Skipper 32. Bridgeman, tell us how good Davy Meiklejohn was.
Davy Meiklejohn, aye. Well, apparently he was brilliant. I mean, seriously, I know Skipper will laugh at this, but maybe others will laugh too. I vaguely remember George Young. And George Young was a massive guy. And from George Young, I think the next really tough guy, there was two of them. There was Dougie Bailey, played for the Rangers, and that was his son. Was it Lex Bailey? Is his son or his grandson or something like that? He ended up writing for one of the papers. And Harold Davis. Oh, my God, was Harold Davis hard. Tough man. So Rangers had their share of really hard guys. I believe that Willie Woodburn was a big tough fella as well, so I never saw Willie Woodburn, to be honest. And I'd love to have seen him.
You don't have to be a big, tall, strapping guy to be a good tackler, mate.
Oh, no, I wasn't meaning that. I was meaning...
Alonso, mate, played for Spain, but although he was a playmaker, he was a very good tackler and good at nicking balls off of people.
What about a wee Canty, Fox? What about a wee Canty?
Canty, so you don't need to be a
one of the best I've seen, in my opinion, his second best centre-half play type person was Mascherano. I thought he's the greatest exponent of the second centre-half I've ever seen. Just fantastic. Just a wonderful player.
Basically a good football player. He could play anywhere. Anyway,
Absolutely.
If people want to use a ring, see if you can get a number right, Bridgeman, and keep it simple so you don't confuse the rest of the world.
It's 0141 356 1972 or 1972.
That'll do. Use it again and keep it simple.
It's 0141 356 1972.
That's it. Thank you. And where else can they join us, Fox?
Skype at RangersRadio.online.
Yeah. Anybody wants to join us, any first-time callers, all-time calls, all Rangers supporters are welcome on here to talk about anything Rangers related. That right, Fox?
If you say so.
If I say so. You know, I genuinely believe that you'll know of a good team till you've got a natural ball winner, and I mean that way. They've got to be, you say Souness and that, but you've got to be able to play as well. But every great team to move your team on, you need somebody. I mean, you take Warburton's team, arguably the best performance they had. They played that boy, Dominic Ball, at centre half. The centre half played in defensive midfield for us, and I let other people go and play. And I know people will say, if you're a great football player, you can play anyway. But on the good sides through time, I've had guys that will go and win the ball, Fox.
Oh, of course, mate. Aye. But that position originally for me was you played defensive midfielder, but stepped back into a back three to shore up the defence when it was needed, mate. And I think Michael Ball, especially against Celtic, mate, he dominated about 18 yards out on time at Hampden, and he had a great game that day.
Dominic Ball, Michael Ball.
Dominic Ball.
You're getting mixed up with another mate of mine. Or you get mixed up with a singer?
I didn't think I was getting mixed up there,
You mean the left back, Foxy?
No, he means the Dominic Ball, the boys from Aberdeen.
Yep.
The boys from Aberdeen.
He had a tremendous game against the Celtic at Hampden. I thought it was really good game.
That's what I was talking about until I was
got
off by that.
Don't say I'm your mate. I'm not your mate.
I said monkey.
All right. I'll get monkey to you, boy.
Oh, aye. Man, did you tell people about that, how you set me up?
No, I never.
We were on the pub bridge and he's introduced me a couple of his pals and he says, that's monkey there. Well, I thought he'd said monkey. So I'm sitting all night with this guy who shooters like an American football player, mate, and the arms is broad, and I'm saying, hey, monkey, what do you think of this? And he kept looking at me. What was his name?
I'm not saying his name on air. I'm not saying his name.
So he pulled me up. I met him. I was holding on to tickets for somebody, and I was to hear him. He said monkey, and he came up and says, do you call me monkey? I was like, no, me.
What was his name, Malky?
No. It was a funny story. It was a funny story. No, was it funny for Fox? The blood trained out him.
That would have been funny, believe you me.
Not that any of my acquaintances would have hit you, Fox.
No, not at all.
Not at my age, mate, anyway.
No. No one Oxford was around.
Years ago, I'd have just nutted him and decked him, mate.
I love it. Brilliant, pal. Brilliant. Superb.
So it's 0141 356 1972, or you can join us at Skype at RangersRadio.online. It'd be great to hear what you think. This crossroads that we said we're at in this journey, what's the next step? You mentioned something off-air, Fox, about the Alex McLeish. Obviously, you watched Scotland tonight, and when I was working, but you were saying about his managerial ability. You were saying, did we miss out? That was the point you were making earlier on. About you were impressed with the tactics, were you?
It was indeed, mate. It quite surprised me. He played a 3-4-3 and a 3-4-2, would it be? I can't remember what it was anyway.
Well, it must have been good.
3-4-2-1, would it be? No, he had two up front, mate, anyway. Must have been a 3-5-2, only I never noticed. Stuart Armstrong was playing, and you can't call him. He was a passenger, mate, so it was really a 3-4-2. But very disciplined midfield, mate. I was really surprised. Worked very well going forward and worked even harder going back. Kept her shape very well. Created a lot of chances, believe it or not, for me, for being away from home. Thought his managerial skills shone through. And I was just saying to you that did we miss a trick letting Alec pass us by?
Well, only time will tell, Fox. I mean, obviously his name was mentioned, and there's been loads and loads of names mentioned. I mean, Mr. Murty's still in pole position. I think it was it Young Mountain somebody made the point, if he goes on and wins the cup, well, people see it differently, and yeah, they will, but I just think we need to get an experienced manager, and I don't think we've been fair in Graham Murty either, if I'm being really honest, in my opinion. Ridgeman?
Well, one of the big problems is since God knows when back there, we've been measuring the guy every game. So every game was a next step for him and for us. And what have we said? You've got to win it. We've got to win this game. Biggest game of the season. Each game was a big hurdle for us. And as we went right up to the Celtic game, we were doing really, really well, and so was the manager. And then I'm afraid that we didn't come up to the mark. I thought we did very well during it, and then we let them dictate the tactic, and they scored the goal. And unfortunately for both the manager and us, I thought it was undeserved. I didn't think Celtic were the better team. I thought Rangers were the better team. I thought we should have won it, but obviously the weaknesses are there. We allowed them through, and they scored 3 goals. By the way, good goals, but they scored 3 goals against us, and we're at them. So every week now, that manager, Mr. Murty, is being measured, and people are rating him. And at the present moment, I don't know very many that would say, based on present form, they would give him the job. So I think all the tasks against him now is to win every game between now and the end of the season. And if he does that, he might get the job. That's all I can say. I doubt very much if it's going to happen, but he just might.
And we've been fair in Graham Murty as well, Fox.
In what way?
Because obviously he's going to he's going to be in his CV. He's come in, and I think he's well liked amongst the support, because he is. He comes across as a decent fella.
Stood up and was
counted,
mate. Yeah,
took the cudgel up, and he did take us forward, and we don't know how much input he had into some of the signings, but he improved the squad. But ultimately, the form at Ibrox under his tenure since before Christmas hasn't been great, and that's what I think the support will be looking at. I mean, I think since he's lost 5 games at Ibrox, and that's going to be the big thing that people will see. But he could come back and he could win every game, and he could win the semi-final, and we've got a cup final, and then people might look at it differently. People have their opinions. I've got mine, you've got yours, but I think we need an experienced manager. And I'm not maybe talking about. I'm talking about somebody who at a level to take us forward. Maybe some of the guys that have been mentioned in the press might be just too much seasoned professionals, but we need somebody with a bit of experience, in my opinion. Matt Warburton had very little. Kachina wasn't a good fit for the job, and disappointment. It's a big one for the people who have got to select him. And yeah, I don't know what you think.
I thought with him being a fullback, mate, he'd be able to organise the defence better. I think at times we were too attacking, and maybe that's why we do concede a lot of goals and have done at Ibrox this season. The all-out attack policy is good to watch, but we do suffer on the counter-attack, as we've seen many times. I think in the summer, if he manages to hang on to the job, mate, I think the first thing he should sort out is the defence, because we've got plenty of attacking players and we're weak in defence. We're 2 centre-backs that's been playing lately, Martin and Alves, mate, just don't seem the solution to me. I'd be surprised if we pushed on, went through with the Martin transfer. I don't think he's a good fit up here in Scottish football. I don't know about you.
Who is that?
Martin, mate.
Russell Martin.
Russell, you've got doubts about Russell Martin. I think you mentioned some like guy earlier in the month. I think obviously people are wondering. I honestly think the boy's injured. I think he's carrying an injury, and it's one of these things that he's desperate to. I think he's desperate to be at Ibrox full time, but I think he's playing through an injury, and I think it's a sin he does it. I honestly don't know if he's ever going to be good enough for Rangers, but I'd love him to he's a big enough fella, isn't he? An experienced centre half. We're desperate to have the experienced centre half. He might not be the person.
His positioning and his passing's been all right, and his tackling, and he gets involved. But you've always said that we're looking for the domineering sort of centre half. I know
Absolutely.
He's no struck me as being the best in the air. He's done more good work in the opposition box when he's he seemed to have you, and arguably if he'd have scored day 2 against Kilmarnock, we might have not been so down. But again, lack of pace, Bridge. He's real lack of pace, and it gets exposed. And teams here, as Fox has pointed out, they play a cagey game. They hold back, they pack the midfield with a couple of springers with pace, and they're just waiting for that one chance to exploit a weakness. And I think you have to get people in there. As you say, they're domineering, but they need that pace. And Bates and McCrory have got that pace, Fox.
Well, I don't know if they've got the pace that you're looking for or we're looking for. I think Bates has been a big miss. I think it's been since he got taken off in the Celtic game, we really haven't been as strong as we should have been, and that's obvious. If you take out the better players, that'll happen anyway. But I think we desperately need someone like Bates back in the defence, because the guys that we've got there now aren't going to do it. Neither of the three of them, Cardozo, what do you call him, Alves, and the boy from Norwich again. What's his name again? I can't remember that boy's name.
Russell Martin.
I can't remember that boy's name. So, much as I'd like the guys to be really good and be marvellous for us, I have my doubts. So, at the moment, we're working on a shoestring central defensive unit, and we can see what the problems we're going to have. And we've got really tough games coming up. Was it 7 games to the end of the season, or 8, no counting the cup games? Wow, just wow. We're going to have tough games here.
Well, we've been unlucky with injuries, and
oh yes.
Obviously, I mean, Bruno Alves is, I wouldn't, a major disappointment's a bit harsh on the guy, but he has been a disappointment. He's had some decent games. He's shown up. He's very good at coming in the middle of the park and winning headers. But again, mate, anybody just he exposes him when the ball's in the deck, and he's not going to get quicker, is he, Fox?
No, I think he might leave in the summer, hopefully. As you say, he's not been particularly Cardozo level, mate, but he's had some good games in the air, but very slow in the turn if somebody's taking him on. Doesn't he seem strong enough in the tackle for me for somebody with such a big reputation? I don't think he's good his all at Ibrox, if I was perfectly honest. I'd like Bridgeman. If you could possibly find a young, strong centre half to go along with somebody. Bates has surprised people with his basic defending. He's done a job. He's not let us down. Ross McCrory, tons of potential, but his forte at the moment seems more needed in central midfielder. We've got younger players like Aidan Wilson, who we had a wee glimpse of. But again, he's been put out on loan to get match experience because he wouldn't get it in the first team at this present time. Maybe like McCrory, he'll come back after his loan deal, and we maybe start to see some signs of him being in the first team squad. So we need to buy. It's how good Mark Allen's going to be at identifying targets.
All right. I think if you've got any views on that, I know that Boy Shadow particularly likes the boy Aidan Wilson. It'd be great to hear from you there. And what's the number, Bridge?
The number's 0141 356 1972. That's all.
And they can join us where, Fox?
At RangersRadio.online. If they've called before, they'll be able to come straight through into the call, mate. It's only if you're a first-time caller on Skype that I may have to send you a contact request.
Oh, there's the coup put in the... Wilson gets sent off tonight for the under-21s. They get beat 5-4 by Norway. I'd be interested to see what the score was when he gets sent off.
Is that the game the young boy in Middleton scored 2 goals in?
I don't know, mate. I don't know.
The young boy. Anyway, we've been joined by George.
Evening, George.
How you doing, boys? All right?
All right, mate. What's on your mind, mate?
Just what you were saying there about Big McLeish coming in. Everybody kens I wanted McInnes to come in, but I think Big McLeish would have been a safe bet to get us to the end of the season. And everybody's saying, Ken, we had injuries in the last Old Firm game and things like that. I think Big McLeish would have had the tactics to sort that one out for us, Ox, and to get us through that game. Finally get a win against them. I just think he would have had I just think he knows what he's doing in games like that, Ox. There's a couple of substitutions could have been made at different times. I think Big McLeish should go with that. He wasn't everybody's favourite manager. For me personally, I loved the big guy. I thought he'd done a great job for us, Ken. I really did think after Advocate had done it, I thought McLeish was a great manager for us. I think we missed a wee bit of a trick. I've been a bit down on Murray. That's just because I didn't think he's a Rangers manager. And that guy, he sat. Everybody keeps on saying, "Oh, he stood up to the hangman." Anybody would have took that job. It's the biggest job in the world. Anybody would have took that job. Let's be honest about it.
Derek McInnes.
Aye, well, there you go. I think we should have actually been out there and got Big McLeish and said, "Look,
all right,
Ken, you were second choice, but we're going to just come in and just help us to the end of the season and see if you can sort this out." Because it wasn't him who went and got it wasn't me Murray who went and got the players. It was Mark Allen, so we still had the same players, just a wee bit a better manager. Ken, I think that would have been a wee bit better for the club.
I don't think George. I don't think he'd have come in on a deal to the end of the season, George. I think his pride would have stopped him doing that. It would either be a couple of years contract or nothing with Alex McLeish, I think. You don't think so yourself?
He wanted a 2-year deal, Ox. I ken that, Foxwood. I ken that, but again, I would have liked to think if we went to him and said, "Look, we want to try something different at the end of the season. Can you help us?" I just think that would have been a way for us to go.
He wasn't working at the time, Fox, and hadn't he been for a long time?
But I think he had. I think he did have his eye on the Scotland job, although Michael O'Neill had been was the SFA's first pick, mate. But again, he's the sort of manager that could have still got a job maybe down south, mate. There's always teams willing to take a gamble on big people like Big Alec, you know. And the manager merry-go-round, as they call it down there. But as you say, he'd been out the game for, what was that, nearly 2 years there?
I think his last appointment was it in Belgium?
He was there with Alec Gray, wasn't he?
Aye.
Was it in Israel?
I don't know about that, mate. I don't know.
I think he was in Israel.
He went. He's done a couple of ones that never even made the radar, you know.
Right, so I just think that's my thing with Ox. I mean,
but he won 7 trophies for us, George. Was it 7 trophies?
Was it 7 trophies in 5 years? Was that right?
Aye. I mean, his last season ultimately, but he was having to rip up a team and he was bringing people in it. All right, it never worked. And but the last season we were maybe poor under him. But 2005-06, but 2004-05 we won the League Cup and the league on Helicopter Sunday, you know.
Was that the year? But there was the year before that we got to the last 16 in the Champions League as well.
Aye, and then the season before that we won the treble.
Aye,
and the year before that we won the 2 cups when he came in mid-season.
I just think Ken. Look. See, at the end of the day, Murty's proof to me that the guy we had at the start of the season was just a complete and utter donkey. And you didn't have to be a top class manager to get players working for you. But if Big Eck, in my honest opinion, if Big Eck had come in, do somebody like Big Eck, I'm saying Eck. If somebody like Big Eck with a wee bit of tactical nous in that Oxford maybe came in, where maybe just worked out our season for us, because Murty's not done a horrible job, don't get me wrong, but there's been a couple of occasions when I thought to myself, a proper manager, because he isn't a manager, a proper manager would have actually maybe just got out of line with that game there. Ken, like the Kilmarnock game, we had nothing against Kilmarnock, we had absolutely nothing, we had no answers, we had nothing to do. Celtic, as soon as Celtic went down to 10 men, we should have had a striker on there, but we Murty was a bit feared to do things like that. I didn't think a big guy like Big McLeish would have been feared to do that. He would have just done it and took it on the chin, because that's the kind of guy he was like, but
do you think that's experience, George, to be fair in Graham Murty? It's not that he's maybe, it's just he lacks experience.
That's exactly what it is, Ox. That's exactly what it is. Just lack of experience and things like that. I mean, the one was at the Celtic game when he left a sub on the bench and that. You didn't do that. Ken, you're 3-2 down or whatever it is to your biggest rivals. You fire some down there and just go for it. See, if you lose 4-2, you lose 4-2, but you've got that chance of getting that equaliser, Ox. Ken, and folk will do that where he maybe not do that. Folk, even just having Big Eck there, just to give them that wee extra kick and things like that. Ken, he must have actually He was a good man manager for all your guys back then, Ox. Ken, all the guys used to love playing with Big Eck, and he used to get the best out of them. So I would just like to. I think we slipped up. Look, the season's done for me as far as I'm concerned. I can't have got to play them in the hangman, but we had the chance to do them a couple of weeks ago there. 2-1 up against them. We should have went on and made it 3-4. I think we should have honestly done it then. But a proper manager, I think we were a fucking. We would have done it.
On you go.
Come in on that.
On you go, mate.
I was going to say that I agree with what George saying. My thoughts on reflective thoughts on it all are that I think that Murty was thinking when they went down to 10 men, we're going to murder them now. We're the better team. Everything's for us. They've had two good goals, well scored goals, but they've never actually threatened us. In reality, we are the ones we've done all the weak parts and given the ball away at the bad times. I think he's been thinking something like that, and I think when he's changed it, just like George says, only you flip it over and say, if you're a Celtic manager and you're down to 10 men, you've got nothing to lose because Rangers are a wee bit better than us. And so if we get beat at Ibrox, we get beat. Well, let's put somebody on. Let's change it a wee bit. Let's do something completely different, which he did. I'm not saying it was a masterful tactical decision. I think he made a good decision. I think he was lucky.
I think he was playing. I think he was just playing to see the game out, mate.
I'm saying that. I don't think. I think he just wanted to push. He wanted to put a forward on that would force Rangers to mark heavier in defence, and that would pull the midfield back because we were actually camped in their half. We had a lot of pressure on them, but we couldn't put that final ball in that would tell. We hit the ball, hit the bar, hit the post. Their keeper made a couple of nice saves. That was all. There was really no great threats, to be honest, other than presence. And I think their manager did a wise thing, put somebody, an attacking person, and tried to push everybody up the park, getting them back out. And it worked for them. So that's it. But I just think that our manager thought, for that wee spell, by the way, they've done to 10 men, we're going to absolutely murder them. We'll run over the top of them now. There you go.
I'd agree with that, Bridge. I think he gambled on the team was good enough without making a change, you know. I'd agree with what you said there. Again, in foresight, it's easy to say it was a mistake he made, but that's the luck of the draw, innit, for me.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, sometimes you better been lucky than good, George. I mean, obviously, if Brown doesn't fall on his backside and hoof that ball up the park, they don't get equaliser and we go in 2-1 at half time. You don't know how to play. We might have been on and win again, we might know it done. You can never answer that now, but that's the bounce of the ball that Fox is always going on about, and that can make or break you, you know.
Aye, that's what it was. I think we were. I thought we played great that day. Really, actually, I thought it was a really good game. We played good that day. I think a couple of times we just never got the rub of the green. Ken, the one where we were Alice. It's all easy to say it, but my thing, we were talking about Big Eck, and that was my wee opinion about that. Just thinking Big Eck. I'm not keep on. I ken we were talking about Big Eck because he's mentioned in everybody watched the Scotland game, but just a guy like that with just that wee. Even I think we see somebody like even Craig Brown or just somebody had that wee extra thing about them. Even if it was somebody in the dugout with him, Matty, just to have that wee bit extra. And the thing is, Brendan obviously what he's done is in the last couple of minutes of that game, he thought to himself, and like Fox is saying, he's bang on. I'm going to close this game out and just think, and they got a lucky break and about the part they went, and that was it. We had no answers again, like you know what I mean. So, but we'll get there.
But improving, George, and I just think there's to me the trouble is there's no an obvious candidate out there. I mean, I know you quite strongly fancied McInnes. I think he was FAV at one point, but he's not somebody that excites me personally.
Roberto Martinez for me now, Ox, that's my man now.
Well, that's the other one. I mean, that's strong rumours, and we've heard bits and pieces about that after the World Cup with Belgium. He's been in it, and obviously he's played in Scotland. He's managed a lot in Britain. He's done well at Swansea, Wigan. Not so well at Everton, but
No, I never. To be honest with you, but Ox, has anybody ever done well at Everton? In my honest opinion, Ken, has anybody ever done well at Everton?
Howard Kendall, mate.
Howard Kendall, aye.
I couldn't have been born then.
And many times too.
Howard Kendall, aye. With success at Everton, George, and where they sit, and but I mean, if they get to maybe 6th or 7th in the table or challenge for that 4th spot, that's maybe success for them, you know. But Mark, that'd be interesting to see if that pans out. I mean, obviously he's known to play an attacking style of football. Bridgeman, would that be something that would appeal to you?
Any type of attacking football? Are you specific formation-wise, or just attacking football?
Well, he's known the reputation of having great centre halves, mate, that keep the ball out of goal.
That's true. That's true.
You know,
you know that. What can I say? I think I'll just cut back to what I've been saying for a long time. I think we're coming up to a crucial part of the season, and we desperately need to strengthen the back somewhere. And even if it's using existing players, the manager needs to concentrate and make sure the guys are doing their tasks. Because let's, for saying's sake, we'll just think about the game coming up at the weekend. We're playing Motherwell, who they think we're there for the taking. Simple as that. And that's the way they're going to go, and they're going to come at us all guns blazing. We've got to be ready for that. We've got to have centre halves that are ready to fight their forwards, because they're going to come running in and they're going to bully us or try to bully us, and our midfielders need to be ready for it as well. So good attacking play actually stems from good defensive play. If you can defend properly, push up to the midfield, help the midfield to push up, you'll soon be an attacking team. If you can't do that, then you're going to have to be a good defensive team, and only a good defensive team. But we need players to do that.
George, just came back a bit when we talked about ball winners and defensive midfield players. Who was your particular favourites, mate?
The guys you mentioned, Doc, Stuart McCall, Ian Ferguson, they were all right good ball winners. But the thing was, Doc, I always remember Stuart McCall winning the ball, and he never done that, mate. He won the ball and passed it to a Gascoigne, passed it to a Loudrop, and that was all these guys had to do. Whereas Kevin Thompson, when he won the ball, he had to do a wee bit back, and he never had that kind of classy player running about him. But all the guys were good ball winners. Even a guy I'm going to mention today, that boy Walter Smith brought in for a wee while, Christian Daly, he was a ball winner for as well. That's all he got brought in today. Just go in, tackle, get the ball, and get to somebody who could play a bit of football. He's not usually got a proper one like that now.
What a season he had in 2008, George, that boy Daly.
Aye, was it every game he played? Is that right?
Oh, I don't know if he played every game. I think that was the big centre half, the Spanish centre half. I'll check it out, George. I'll check it out. But I think he played every position the short time he was raised, barring goal. He was some athlete. But he wasn't.
He's well on his age when he joined.
He wasn't young. I'll just check it out. But I never thought of him, mate, to be honest with you. But I think, I don't know what you think, we were talking about earlier on, but every team needs one, Georgia.
I think you do, Ox. I think you do. And it's easy to say it, but in games like Old Firm games, if you've got a ball winner in there, it doesn't have to be a direct tackle. If you've got somebody go right in hard with Scott Brown, take the ball off him, or one of these guys, and that's what Christian Daly done a few times. And actually, I remember Barry Robson doing it with Christian Daly, wiped him out in the first minute. It was genuine in the first minute, wiped him out in the first minute, because it was one of these guys. He was either going to do him first or he was going to do him first, and Christian Daly sort of fell out the game for the rest of the game, because that's what happens in the games. But I think even big Kyle Bartley's another one. He's another one, a big favourite of mine. Like,
does he play me now, Bartley?
Leeds, is it? Does he play me Leeds?
No, he's released at the end of the season. I can't remember. He's with Swansea or something like that.
Is that Leeds?
Is he not alone in Leeds? I thought he was with a Premier team. Is he not with Swansea?
Swansea. I seen him playing the cup tie that they won 8-0 or something.
I think he's free at the end of the season. I'm not dead sure. I think he's free at the end of the season. But he might have been loaned out and St Nats was free. I don't know.
Aye. But you never gave your opinion on the McLeish. Would have been somebody that you'd have been happy for to come in?
Well, I think along the lines, to be honest, the same as George. I wouldn't want Alex McLeish to be the full-time Rangers manager for a long time. But he might have done a trick till, let's say, the end of a season, when we're at the point where we got to do, or we had to move on Pedro. I think Alex should have done a job to the end of the season for that. Very difficult, I know. But I wouldn't envisage Rangers wanting Alec McLeish to be with us all the time. I just don't know. That's how I feel. I agree with George that he was a really good Rangers manager on a shoestring budget for a Rangers manager. But I don't think he's one going forward. I think he would have probably done what this guy's doing now. You know, he's managed to gel the players. He's a bit inexperienced in some strange decisions, but at the end of the day, he has kind of galvanised the squad, and we're sitting there. We can't complain that much. We're sitting second in the league, so we can complain because of the distance behind Celtic, of course. But in reality, we're going to end up second, possibly third. But we need to win our games. No matter what happens, we need to win our games. They're not going to win. We're not going to get points for nothing. So we need to make sure we win the games from now on. And if we win the games from now on, we'll finish second. But we can't afford to drop any more points. If we do, we could spiral down that league dead easy. Dead easy. No, not for me, Mr. McLeish.
All right, okay. I mean, it's all about opinions, mate. Is there anybody that stands out to you, Bridgman, that you think about that might be in the frame if we're going to change the manager? I would imagine it'll be as soon as the season's finished.
I would still hanker after a better name. Whatever that better name is. Again, I would like the De Boers or the Loudrups as a team to come in and run Rangers for us to club level. But we mentioned earlier, we've got a director of football, and it would be down to him as well as to make sure how he can work with these people, because you can't afford people coming in demanding things. You need to be able to work with them. So it might be a quieter person, like Claudio Ranieri, for instance. Him was at Leicester. He might be a good solution for us. But who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? I really don't. I don't want anybody from Scotland, exist in Scotland. No for me.
Nobody with the Scottish teams, and none of them excite me. What about you, Fox?
For an old head, I would go for Neil Warnock, mate. I think the guy's worked in a limited budget, and the way their funds are.
Will he be available, mate, if Cardiff go up?
If Cardiff go up, mate, they'll get rid of Neil Warnock. That's what I think. Personally, he's a championship manager. He's had all his success, and he's been one of the types of managers, mate, that if he takes teams up, that he wouldn't get the position. I think everybody would agree that probably he will be sacked, mate, or will hand it to somebody who's probably more adventurous, if that's the word. But I think Neil Warnock sets his teams up not to low goals, but also can attack as well. And he's having a great season down there now, mate, and I would like to see him, even if we had to pay money for it.
See, the other guy, Ox, it's not actually a name anybody would really say. Is the guy at Bristol City, is it Lee Johnson?
Yeah, Lee Johnson, aye. They've got a few quid there, George, and it's a reasonable sized club, you know, Bristol.
Is it really?
Bristol's a big place, mate. It's a massive place. If they get it right, they could be a big club, Bristol, because they've got that whole area to themselves.
I think he's doing quite a good job as well. I would go for Roberto Martinez, but if no, I would go for somebody like that who just knows British football.
Was that him that used to sit in the panel or it was a pundit with the goals on 5 or something like that for the championships?
That was Eureka Johnson, Bridge.
No. I'm sure it was Lee Johnson was doing it last season, and then he went back into football again. I think he was out of football for a couple of years, and he was doing the job. In fact, I saw him. I thought I saw him on the other night. Never mind, doesn't matter.
We're in an interesting time. Would you agree, George? But in the journey, we're at a crossroads, and we just want to drive forward a bit more, and then we're on and off the pitch. Would you think that's fair?
I think that's right. I heard somebody saying the other night that we're getting the boardroom and that fixed. Obviously, they've got to do that. They've got to do the boardroom perfect, but I think we've got to get the playing staff on the park and start winning games, start winning cups. again, I think that's the most important thing for our club now. The board are doing, in my honest opinion, the board are doing a no bad job. We're getting players in. These guys, a couple of these guys haven't been paid for their own loan and things like that, but we've managed to get a few good players on. A lot of folk were excited. A lot of folk didn't even realise the amount of players we're going to actually bring in. We've done that. So if we get a good manager to helm us, I would like to think we can kick on and start winning trophies. Start winning trophies again, get us back to where it should be, and then the board will take its place for there.
Just to let you know, Christian Daly played 36 games for his 21 and 31 starts, 5 as sub, 2 goals, 7 yellow cards. He made his debut against Panathinaikos away when we naturally scored to put us on. And how big a game did that ultimately turn out to be, George?
Aye, exactly, aye.
And how, Carl.
What was that? Did we sign him to Charlton?
West Ham, and we sold him. We sold him to Charlton, mate.
All right.
He was 34 when we signed him, mate. He was he played 7 league games in 2008-9, but he also was a sub. He was raised for the. He came on. I think his last game was the 2009. I think that was the 2009 when we won the league at Easter Road. 1 each. Was it Lafferty scored? Rowe scored. Might not have been the game we won the league. Might be getting mixed up in my years, but his actually last game for us was against as a substitute when he came on against the Falkirk in the Scottish Cup final, mate. So he had a successful career, but 34 years of age when we signed him. I forgot about him, George. He done a good job for us, you know.
Aye, that's what we were saying the other night there as well. I mean, guys like that, Kenny, a lot of folk wouldn't even mention folk like that because they weren't the stars that came into the club.
Aye.
Along with Big Ek came in, and I was saying that day the Beast Threes never had the greatest team in the world, but they had a big team, a strong team. O'Neill had a strong team for them. And what Big Ek done is he came in and they brought in big guys, big Pierre Fan wasn't a great player, but was a big guy who could stand up to these guys. Big Marvin Andrews, another guy. Livingston wasn't playing a great game of football. Came to Rangers, never put a fit rank for us Hawks. We get bullied now, and I think that's what we need to do. Maybe we can bring a couple of these guys. And Big Kyle Bartley was one of the guys as well. Came in and stood up for the cause.
Aye, okay, aye, fair comment. I mean, I'm going to contradict myself. I thought Daly was a successful signing, but I think we need to really get that right when we go for these veterans going forward, Fox.
Did you tell me you like Christian Daly?
No, I think he came in, he done a job for us, mate. He played everywhere for us.
Oh, aye, absolutely, yeah. I think I used to wonder, I used to sit particularly when I saw him on the telly. It wasn't so bad when you saw him in flesh, I would imagine. When I saw him on the telly, maybe the camera was bad for him. Because sometimes he never looked at the right place, you know.
Is that how we on radio?
No, I didn't mean to look. I didn't mean for looks. I mean when you watch them playing football, he seemed a different type of person to the one you saw when you were on the park. So the same game, you could watch it in the game and it looked not too bad. But when you watch the highlights or a repeat of the game, somebody taped it for you, and you go, what on earth's he doing? Why is he doing that? Never mind. Maybe I'm groaning in
morning. I think arguably his best game was away in Sporting Lisbon, from memory, but I think he had a great game that night, but that night we won 2-0. Anyway, if you don't mind going on mute, we'll have a tune for Fox. Thanks for that, Fox. We're back, gentlemen.
We are indeed, bud.
We are indeed, bud. Anyway, if people want to join us, Bridge, what's the number? Talk about
the number's
three. Rangers.
The number's 0141356 1972. That's 1972.
Sorry, you've got me laughing, Bridge. Oh dear. Or you can join us at Skype where, Fox?
At RangersRadio.online, or you can use the wee button at the top left-hand corner of the page in the lobby, but also bring you in.
How's that work, Fox? You want to tell people?
Well, there's a wee button, if you look up to the very top of the screen, try to get it to know myself to make sure it's there. There's a wee Skype, emblem brilliant. Just under RangersRadio.online, and there's a wee blue telephone. You press the wee blue telephone, I think that'll bring you in Skype.
You think? Wow.
Aye. I don't phone myself often, I don't use it.
Just as well, I wouldn't answer it. He knows what I'm talking about, Bridge. He knows what I'm talking about.
I know, pal.
I just sling you a deefy.
I know. I know you do. A great point, George, about the manager, I mean, it's hindsight, hindsight. What, George, what is our attraction as a club that we always look back? Why can we not move on and try and look forward? I mean, but a lot of people, Alec, Walter still gets mentioned, and we're always looking at ex-players. Do we build these people up to be something or no, or are we scared to take a leap of faith?
I'm probably one of the worst for this, Ox. I mean, in my honest opinion, 9 times out of 10, if you ask me what my Rangers team would be, I would take big boys playing, and I'd take Naismith back, and I'd take all these guys. Honestly, because that's just, I don't know if it's just your heart goes with these guys and things like that. But no, you're right. We do need to take a leap, and we do need to move forward. In saying that, we took the leap with Pedro, and look what happened there. We tried something completely different there, and look what happened there. But I think you're right. We have got to take a leap. And I see it was a Martinez or something like that. That's something we've probably not tried before, a guy like that. I think that's probably the way we've got to go. Instead of going for a McLeish or a McInnes or these guys, you're probably right.
I mean, it was no personal. It was nothing against personal. Pedro as an individual, but I thought it was a bomb scare from minute one, mate. I'm really honest with you, mate. And I could maybe see what he was trying to achieve and give people games, but I don't think he understood the job he had, or the enormity of the task or the expectations. But I would have bagged him on the spot in Luxembourg, mate, personally.
Aye, I'm the same that night as well. In fact, honestly, that night as well, I just thought to myself, this is never. In fact, at Ibrox, when you seen the team of the way they ran out, I thought, this is just not going to work out. And folks talk about the board's got to get this one right. Of course, they've got to get it one. They've got to get it bang on. We can't afford for them to get any further ahead of us. But for my honest opinion, this is just my opinion, I thought the Warburton idea was a good idea. How it worked, it never worked out the way I expected it to work out. But he was bringing guys in from England. He had contacts down there and things like that. I think that was quite a good idea, Rox, and quite a good way for the club to go at that time. Stay British and things like that. And I still thought after Warburton left, still stay British and go things like that. The board wanted to go a different way, which is fair enough. But I think we should have had then. I was saying it back then. That was the time, we're going back to what I was saying, bringing in a McLeish or another British manager, a guy that knows the club and knows what the club's all about. I think that was the time to do that. And right now, I still think we need that. And I've been saying Martinez, and he's no British, but he's sort of British based. He's played in Scotland, he's played in England, he's been in England quite a lot. So that's the kind of guy I'm talking about. Even if it was somebody like Steve Bruce or just somebody that's been in England or Scotland for a while, that's the kind of guy I think we need to go for now. Somebody that knows the club and knows what the fans are all about.
He's starting to get on top of that job at Villa, Steve Bruce. That's a big job. He's starting to get on top of it. On you go, Bridge.
I was just going to say that, when you think back, you were saying that when he should have been sacked at Luxembourg after the Luxembourg game. And yes, most sensible thoughts would have been something like that. In hindsight, we should have done it. But I think he was saved. His bacon was saved maybe a month or two earlier, so maybe a week or two earlier actually, when Brendan said he wasn't embarrassed by getting beaten by Gibraltar Red Imps. No embarrassment.
That was a year before.
Well, whatever, whenever it happened, I'm just saying for a club like them to get.
But if we'd have lost,
I'm just saying to get beaten in a tie.
We lost to Tie Bridge.
I know we lost the whole thing, but
Aye.
What I'm saying is they lost a game against a very, very lowly opposition, much like we did. Unfortunately, we only won 1-0 at Ibrox, and it turns out that it's probably one of our poorest games ever. But I think the seal had been set. He would need to do something really bad to sack a manager. That's basically what they're saying. That's what I think, and I think that's what saved them, because if Celtic didn't sack Brendan after that, and after a few of the houndings he got, then why the hell are we wanting to sack our manager for losing to Luxembourg? Don't get me wrong, I agree with you. For me, certain things become intolerable, and it should have been done. I just think the die was cast when Brendan was allowed to lose in the manner he lost, and so they never done anything about that. So
maybe we just set our standards a bit higher.
Or maybe we should, I'm saying. I don't disagree with you, but any stretch of the imagination,
What was obvious to me, and I'll take this to Fox, for the performance at Ibrox that day against that team, and then we went to Luxembourg, and it was just a shambles, really, the whole game, if you think back on it. The message, whatever message he was trying to portray, the players weren't buying into it. In modern football, if you've lost the dressing room, you're gone, mate. Fox?
Aye, correct. I've erased that game out of my mind completely, mate. I can't remember a thing about it now. But I think that the managerial appointment, mate, I've yet to see MD come up with a realistic option for us. And I think the board are going to hide into nothing here. Maybe they'll take a step back and put their whole trust in Mark Allen, mate. And we'll just have to accept who he thinks is good enough. Whether the fans will think it's good enough, we'll have to wait and see. But it's going to be a mad gamble if we ditch Murty. But that's the way it's going to be. But it sounds I'd just go along with the rest of the support thinking he's just too inexperienced. I didn't think that at first. I thought he should be given a chance. He's been given a chance. He's had his two latest defeats, mate, have swung the barometer the other way for me. And I think now that we do need an experienced manager. Who that'll be, I don't think the support have got any clue, never mind the board, mate. How do you go about satisfying the fans, mate? It's the most important position at the club. And I've got to agree with the Mankey mob done, mate. They sunk their money into their manager and it proved to be worthwhile. Maybe we'll need to equal that and spend more than we expect to get a decent manager.
How do you satisfy the support? You win the next game, George.
Aye, that's bang on, Ox. That's exactly what you do. I mean, Fox is right, mate. He's saying there about going out and getting a big manager. Sinking all your money into the big manager. But what Bridgman was saying there a minute ago about
does that rule out Tommy McLean then?
Oh.
Aye.
Back in your box.
Sorry, bad one. Carry on, George.
But again, just a wee quick thing, man. I would have took Tommy McLean till the end of the season. Tommy Wright. Did you say Tommy Wright there?
No, Tommy McLean, he said, mate.
Aye, right, you're really winding us up, right. Aye, get back in your box like you said there, Rox.
Shut up.
What Bridgman was saying there about getting the Red Imps, I didn't think he was going to do, but I think the board went out there and got their guy. They backed him more than any Rangers managers have been backed in so many years, Rox. Letting them go to these countries and bring these players in £1 million, £500,000, £2 million in some cases, and things like that. So they were obviously saying to themselves, look, we can't just, after one defeat, it's a horrible defeat in Europe, we can't just pull the plug on this. We've got to go with this guy. We believe in this guy. We've given him this money, and that's the reason for it. There and then, I would have pulled the plug there and then. And even after that, who did we not go? In fact, after we go to Europe, they still allowed them to go and sign Dorrans for £1 million, £1.5 million. So the board were there willing to back him. Like, so I just hope that if there's money there the next time, and we can say they bring in Martinez or something like that, he can get these players going. Just like Brendan done when he went into Celtic. He never bought loads of players. He just went in there and got the players that weren't working before working and got them playing together. So I think that's what we've got to try and do, because we've got a no bad team. We need to add to centre halves and a ball winning centre midfield that we've been talking about. But we've got a no bad makings of a team. We just need a guy there that can control that, run the bus for us.
Aye, it'd be interesting to see how it pans out. But Martinez he would tick a lot of boxes, and he's experienced. He's managed in the Premiership. He's played in Scotland. He's now managed at international level and gone to the World Cup. So he would tick a lot of boxes, but only time will tell, Bridgeman. Eh?
Yeah, absolutely, pal. Absolutely. I think certain things happen in our leagues, and certain. I just think we were unfortunate with Pedro, and Pedro was unfortunate with injuries, and goodness knows what was going on. And this manager's the same. He's unfortunate with injuries. But there's the two things that Pedro did is he brought in that boy Pena, and I'll go back to what Fox said about that. That was a noose around his neck. Pena just wasn't going to get there. He just was never going to get there, in my opinion, and that's just ruined his job. Plus the fact we didn't play that well, and in front of the camera he made himself out to be silly, or he was made out to be silly by our press. So daft things like that. But this manager's a bit... That
ultimately never bothered me. Sometimes it annoyed me, but it never bothered me. It was the time I was annoyed was the antics against Motherwell in the semi-final in the League Cup. We lost the game, but I mean, to be fair, in Pedro, we should have maybe been out of sight before they scored their first goal, and we had chances.
Absolutely, pal. Absolutely.
But I just think he'd lost the dressing room, and it was ultimately, I don't know if it was man management style, Fox, or his ideas were too complicated for the kind of player we had. I don't know, but that's what it looked like to me. I don't know what you thought.
I think we found out at the end, mate, that he was just a bit crazy, wasn't he? The players didn't respond to anything that he put forward to them. They were totally disorganised on the park. You used to watch him on the sidelines, mate, shouting and bawling at people to go to where he told them. And sometimes that was the players just didn't understand. I remember him with Michael Halloran, mate, absolutely bawling at him. He play at left back, and you're going, what's he doing here, But that was an experiment that never worked. We can't afford another experiment like Pedro. So we'll need to wait and see how it works out.
Aye.
See, the bigger the manager we get, mate, the bigger the budget they'll expect. Can we afford it? That's the problem with a big name manager. They're not going to come here and work with no money.
That's a good point, mate. That's a good point. George, what are you coming in with?
The biggest failure for our board in that whole scenario for me wasn't bringing in Pedro. It was a failure, and I didn't like him for the word go. They tried something, and I'm not going to kick them for trying something that we've not tried before, because it could have been a masterstroke. But the thing for me, Ox, was the fact that they brought in him and then brought in a director of football. That was just the Ayers Felby for me. That's just the craziest thing I've ever heard in my life. You bring that guy in, you let him sit on the bench for a couple of weeks and say, how you want to do this? I think the way we done it was just upside down for me, like.
That makes a lot of sense, What's your thoughts on the director of football role then, Bridgeman, that George has raised?
Well, I think we've spoken about this slightly before, that the director of football, if you're going to put them in correctly, they're key. They're key to the workings of the whole club, and they're sitting on the board to all intents and purposes. They're the ones that are going to speak to the board and do things that need to keep the manager away from them. And I think this guy has come in is proving, up to now anyway, he's proving to be very good. He's managing to get some good quality players, and very quiet behind the scenes. You never hear him, you never see him in the front pages or anything like that. He's just great. He works behind the scenes and he works well. And he obviously, the manager's happy with him as well. I think most of the fans are. What we're looking for is, will he be able to get any more nuggets and let's see some real good quality come the summertime, providing we've got the money for it, of course, But he seems to be able to do these things. And I'm happy with this guy. I'm happy with him.
You like the set-up, Fox, didn't you? You like the idea of a director of football.
Aye, because it's got longevity, mate. The style the club will play, the players, managers can then come and go without a big outlay and change it. That's been a problem. Different managers, big outlays and players to suit their style of management. The manager fails and we're left with a shambles. I mean, it was rumoured that Steve McLaren was Alan's tip for the manager, mate. Now, I could just imagine the Rangers support if they'd announced Steve McLaren, mate. I think half of them would have went against him, but we never know how that would work out. It might still be a possibility.
Steve McLaren, I mean, look at him. He's been about the tracks in England. He's well known where I live, in the area I live in. He's managed some big clubs. He took Middlesbrough to a UEFA Cup final. He's managed England. It's quite an impressive CV. I just think he's got that. What was it? The Wally with the Brawley when he done that.
He's never shook that off, mate. I mean, you think of most England managers, they all fail and they all get ridiculed. That was about the crucified him when they've done in Allardyce, mate, and done in many managers. Glenn Hoddle as well, they took him apart. But maybe he is a good manager, mate. He was successful in Holland as well.
Aye, the Wally with the Brawley. That's all we would hear. Who's doing the typing? That my money's on Bridgeman. He's on the one that can type out all yours. He was rumoured to be Mark Allen's choice. I mean, we don't know, but I mean, they're not going to tell us all the details about all their conversations. But what would you thought of that, George?
See, at the time, I didn't think I'd have been up for it, to be honest, like you. But if he came in, he would have probably... Because like Pedro, wasn't up for Pedro, but he came in, I gave him a backing until I realised. But he might have been a good fix. He might have been... The other one, it was, I think it was Stuart Pearce, because that's another one that has... you didn't know about these guys, I mean, but... For me, right now, looking back, if it was either the choice of having Murray to the end of the season or McLaren, I'd have took McLaren all day long, because he's a manager. And if Mark Allen's turning around and interviewing this guy and saying, look, I'm going to pick your players and they're going to come in and this is the way it's going to work, and he's willing to do that, because that's what's happened with Murray, and he's bringing no bad players for us, guys that we didn't even... Murphy and things like that we wouldn't have expected to come into Rangers Rocks. So I would have been quite happy if you could have brought the guys in with a guy that's got a wee bit of tactics about him as well. I think we'd have been a wee bit further ahead in the season.
Aye, well, it's a question we never really answered, but how would you have been with that appointment, Bridge? Would you have...
I don't think I would have wanted McLaren, but I've said it many times in the past and I'll say it again. Whomever our board put in, they'll get my support until such times as we see that they aren't, shall we say, performing correctly. And that's what. Well, obviously, it's too late. I'll go with the flow type person, But then I want to be able to criticise if necessary, and it's easy to criticise. But I don't think McLaren would have worked for Rangers. However, I believe that this director of football really liked him. So. I could be wrong. I've been wrong many times in the past. Well, at least once.
I was asked earlier, George, would you have been happy with Alec McLeish's Scotland backroom staff coming in with him?
No. That wouldn't have. No. I wouldn't have liked that. Who is it again? It's Peter Grant
and McFadden.
Aye. No, see, and that's what I was saying at the time. Everybody was going on about the Murray brought in the number 2, and that's a good appointment in my opinion. Ken, the guy's alright, he's well known in football, he's a Rangers guy and things like that, that's fine. But for me, if Big McLeish was coming in, I would have liked, and it's not everybody's choice, like Ken Bridgeman's got to jump off his seat now, but I would have liked him bringing in Barry Ferguson, another guy that folk can look up to and say, Look at Barry Ferguson done with Rangers. Win this, win that, win the next thing. UEFA Cup final, things like that. So that's the route I would have went to go down. But again, like you're saying, going backwards, we're going back to things, but maybe scared of going forward. Get what I mean? So that would have been my choice, Ox.
It's like a comfort blanket going back to people like McLeish and Walter, innit? Because you know that they're capable, you know.
I mean, I get it, George. I don't know. We're going to have to break this cycle sooner or later, you know. And we're going to have to move on as a support.
Well, that's the thing. If we do, like I'm saying, a Martinez or what Fox was saying about, I think that's a great thing as well. Warnock or something like that for down south. That's just done that. That's just broke that thing. I mean, never even brought in Warburton, but big Davy Weir came in with him. Again, so there was still that connection there as well. Pedro came in, but who was sitting in the stand?
Did that work for you, George? And I'll take this from the panel, the Warburton Davy Weir, because I mean, Davy Weir, what would we have called him? He was a defender first and foremost, wasn't he?
Aye.
Yeah, but when you watch Warburton's team, sometimes you thought, well, where's the defensive coaching? You know, we were bad at set pieces, bad at marking, bad at movement. What was Davy's role in that? And
many times you'd actually see the Ox, eh?
Aye. You know, it was a strange. They were a strange double act. I mean, ultimately it started well. It didn't end well, but it started well and gave us a lift. But I could never work out what Davy's role was because we were so poor defensively. Bridgeman?
Yeah, I have to agree with you. Actually, I think most folk would agree with me when I say this. Davy Weir was probably a very big disappointment because we thought he was doing things and getting things right, and some of the boys he brought in were going to gel and were going to do this and going to do that. But I think from a defensive perspective, I think the only one that's actually been successful is the boy Tavernier. From a defensive perspective, that was all. The boys, some of the boys he brought in were initially for where they were okay. But as you come up to this level here, it wasn't there. So disappointed that he didn't do any better, and disappointed the way things turned out. Because I did like the Magic Hat. I liked him. I thought he would have.
And it was a brilliant song as well, wasn't it?
Oh, absolutely brilliant, man. Absolutely brilliant.
That was a brilliant chant.
The punters loved it. It brought a smile to our face. Made everybody happy, you know.
Aye, that first few months of football and goals, it was just goals.
Just amazing.
But defensively, I couldn't get it, Fox. Could you? Considering the type of where the player Davy Weir was.
Davy Weir was the ultimate professional as a player. But in the Mark Warburton duo, mate, Mark Warburton primarily was attack. That's what it was all about, wasn't it? I don't think defence mattered much to Mark Warburton because he always thought that we would score more goals than him when he was in the Championship, mate. I don't think Davy Weir had a lot of input in that, mate, to be honest with you. When we were talking earlier on about Neil Warnock coming in, I would gladly have Neil Warnock come in and keep Murty as his assistant, mate, and a wee bit of experience, learn how he does things, how to control games, and the guy could go through a real good apprenticeship with somebody like Neil Warnock, and he might not be lost to us as a manager. What do you think of that?
He could come back in for a third spell, is that what you're saying?
Well, there's nothing else. If you're an apprentice, mate, you've got to learn your trade when you move into management, you know, and I would hate to see that guy discarded because it looks as though he's a good coach. I don't know if he'll drop back. We've discussed this before. I don't know if he'll drop back into looking after the kids, but he's gained a bit of experience, and maybe that older head and him as number two, he'll gain more experience, mate.
But I think Mr. Murty's going to find it very difficult to get on with life after being in charge of the manager of one of the biggest clubs in the world football, name-wise anyway. My goodness gracious, it's a trophy, right enough. He's the manager. To turn and say, well, you can go back down to the under-20. I don't know whether they'll say that to him or not, or whether they'll just say to him, no, your time's done as Rangers manager. there's a spot for you with the under-20s, you can take that job back again, no problem. You just step aside now and get on with your other job, and whether he would cope with that. I know, I think if I was him, I would want to try elsewhere, down to England, down to the League One or something like that and get a job there. Because cutthroat.
But that's what we used to do with a lot of young players that we lost out, mate. We gee up on them. You've got your Ross McCormicks and things like that that left Rangers as young boys, and they just never got enough time. How can that not apply to a manager as well?
How
can we not give him, if he was willing to do it, to stand down to be a number 2, to learn his trade better than he's learnt so far? And as we say, that would be natural, that if and when somebody, whoever's in charge, just say for talk's sake, it's Neil Warnock, who stays about for 2 years and then Murty steps back up. If they're successful as a pair, that is.
I'm not going. Nobody would disagree with what you're saying. Theoretically, it sounds very good. I'm thinking from Murty's perspective, after being in charge of one of the biggest clubs and name-wise anyway in the world, in world football, one of the best known. He's taken a chance. He's been there for by the time the season finishes, he'll have been there for 6 months. I don't know whether going back to the lower echelons of management within Rangers would be acceptable to him, and he set in his mind. I think he might want to take a chance elsewhere. That's assuming, of course, that the Rangers won't keep him on as first-team manager. They may say, OK, we've not won the league this year, but we like a cut of your jib. We'll give you another season. They might do. And look, at the end of the day, if Rangers board do that, then it's up to them. There's not much anyone can say once they do it. We need to accept it.
There is a lot people can say.
There will say. People will say.
Also,
of course they will.
It's all about ticking that box to renew your season ticket. That's a big factor for the board.
Oh, like I have to say, I'm not being
coming up shortly. I know.
I'll be over at Ibrox. My season ticket will be renewed. Toot sweet. As soon as the door opens,
I know that, Judge.
I'm just saying, I'm not alone.
So will the majority of people renew theirs, but that might not excite a percentage, and I wish Ibrox was here and might be able to work it out for us. A percentage of the people.
Yeah, I understand fully. There's a lot of people not too keen on them at the moment, and I think we've said it ourselves that we would rather we got a better manager in if we can find a better manager. All I'm saying is, if the board decide that he's done enough to warrant a chance to continue doing the Rangers manager's job full time, then there's no much the fans can do or say other than complain, of course. And I doubt very much if they'll take the ultimate step and not support Rangers through the financial bit we've got. I think they'll take him on, but they might complain bitterly that the board aren't playing the game. You need to come and do it right, get the proper manager in, and so on and so forth. So they might get a bit of complaint that way. But the truth of the matter is, we just don't know, Oxley. We just don't know. And somewhere, George Logan would be able to tell you in his dealings. He speaks to some of the Rangers players and some of the officials when he goes to Ibrox. I don't know what's been said, if anything. Maybe George has heard some whispers. I don't know.
Maybe Mr. Murty knows the master plan and he's quite happy. Maybe he's bought into it. We don't know.
I wouldn't be surprised. That wouldn't have surprised me at all. George, the support, when you're on the bus and you're talking to people, mate, what's their views?
Well, I didn't really hear much, to be honest, but see on Fox's original question, I mean, I think that's a good point. Like, if the board turned around to me to start and say, look, Murty's got to be the manager next season, I'm not going to get my season ticket or nothing like that. I didn't think he should be the manager, but I'll still go. It's not Murty I'm going to see. I'm going to go and see Rangers, but I just think we're bigger than letting a guy cut his teeth at a club like Rangers. That's my opinion. But if the turn around and says I'm going to have him, I will still be there. But if the turn around and says we're going to bring in Neil Warnock, we're going to bring in Martinez, or we're going to bring in this one, but we want Murty to be his number 2, I'd be delighted with that, because I think the guy's doing a great job. I think he's a great coach. but he's not a manager, and there's a difference here, Rox. There is a difference here. It's like, for example, when it was Ali and Walter, I think Ali was a great coach. A terrible manager, didn't get me wrong, but I think that partnership just worked absolutely perfect. I think that could possibly work. I think that'd maybe be a way for the please everybody, if you get what I mean.
Anyway, we've been joined by Al. How are we doing, Al?
It's not bad, gentlemen. How are you?
Not bad. How's yourself?
Aye, good man. Are you trying to talk Monty? It sounds like we're trying to talk Monty back into a job. I mean, you guys on this panel, influential people listen to you. Please rein back on trying to talk Monty into a job. He's not going to be your future. I hope to God that he doesn't get the job, and then we can just cut all ties and we can go our separate ways. I wouldn't keep him hanging about. That's just desperado things. I think if he hung about, it would stink of desperation as well. Let him go. I don't think he'll ever be a Rangers manager, first team manager. Just one other thing. I was listening to the Bridge man, and I really respect Bridge's opinion, but Bridge, I need to pull you up on something. You're saying to me that we run our club the same as Celtic run their club. We look to them for advice and how to sack managers and take our club forward because they got a result against Lincoln Red Imps. So we got a result against a team in Luxembourg or wherever it was, and we went with what they done. They didn't sack their manager, so we didn't sack our manager. I don't think we looked across the other side of the city for reference to anything in a way to run our club, man. A wee bit disappointed with you there, big fella.
Well, what did I say, right? You mean they couldn't have done that? All I'm saying is that, as far as I was concerned, it was set there. So the bar was set. What did Mr. Rogers say when he came off the pitch at Gibraltar? No, we're not embarrassed. Are you embarrassed with that result there? No, I'm not embarrassed. And did Celtic sack him? No, I'm only saying a school of thought would say, well, they did that. We lost a bad game in Luxembourg, and there was a clamour for our manager to be sacked, and he could have been sacked. And
it was because we lost. It's because we lost the tie, Bridge. We lost the tie.
Yeah, I understand that fully. I'm not making excuses, and I don't think we did that. I'm saying it could have been an excuse for our board to say, well, why should we sack their manager when Celtic didn't sack theirs type thing? That's all I'm saying. Maybe they thought that. I don't know if they did.
I couldn't care less what they did, Bridge.
Really correct. We shouldn't be looking across the other side of the city for advice on anything from them.
Why would we? I never said advice. I never said advice.
No, but you're implying, your comments imply.
I'm only saying it's an excuse.
Yeah.
I'm saying it's an excuse for our board not to sack us.
I'll see you on the Murty point.
I don't know if it was.
I'll see you on the Murty point.
Fox.
I'm just thinking. I'm sticking up for Graham Murty because I think he's done a reasonable job stepping up into the position. I think he's probably got the best record we've ever had for a stand-in manager. Although it doesn't, the big results that mattered we've lost, but he's done a reasonable job. And I just think that would you sack if somebody stood in and you're working, done your job, mate, for a short place of time, not as good as you, but would you sack him or would you show some loyalty to the person?
It's a different situation. I'd probably sack him.
A job's a job,
but
mate.
I know what you're saying, but I don't think we should be too sentimental about this. We're running a football club, and we want the football club to be winners, Fox. I understand what you're saying, mate, and I do respect. I really respect your opinion on things, but I just don't think that we can afford to be sentimental. We have to take a hard line, more militant approach in regards to these things. I love the fact that we've got this director of football in place, because I think that engages us as fans. It keeps something she's mentioned. It keeps that clarity. It keeps us going forward. We don't need to have that big turmoil of change of manager. He's mentioned money. This next manager comes in, he wants 10 months. No, we bring in coaches that can work under the director of football, and then we don't have any turmoil when it doesn't go wrong. I mean, look, I'm going to use Chelsea as an example. They're very successful in what they do. Yeah? They have one person controlling it. The manager doesn't do well. He's out. I don't mind that. I couldn't care if we had a new manager every season, as long as we were winning. I just think we shouldn't be too sentimental and we'll keep him on just because he's done a good job. His job hasn't been that great, actually. He's not won the big games. Thanks very much. He does get paid for this. He gets all the things that we don't get. He gets his meals, he gets this, he's got a house, he's got a car, he gets a really decent salary. So I don't think we should be sentimental about it. We need to build the club as winners. I think you're shouting Warnock, guys like that, yeah, come in. And is there no other people at Ibrox that we've brought in? Maybe a Kevin Thompson would be a good number 2 to a Warnock. Maybe a Gregory Vignal, you know what I mean? These type of guys, maybe give them a chance, because if you keep Murray in place, you're stagnating the progression. You're letting these other guys come through, as we mentioned, with young guys putting them out on loan here, there, everywhere. You've got players playing in front of them that we think probably aren't as good. The young guys should be in place. We need to get rid of the guys that aren't playing as good and put the young guy in and see how he goes. If it doesn't go, get rid of him. It's as simple as that, because we need to be a successful winning football club.
If somebody like Warnock comes in, you'll want to pick who his number 2 is.
Yeah. But we approach Warnock and say, "This is the deal, big man." We're only using this as
example. We've been hypothetical.
Aye. Like Ox, I come to you and say, "Ox, I want to be the Glasgow Rangers manager," but the framework that we're working within here is we want to promote this guy. Can you assess him? Do you think you could work with him? Oh, yes. No. Right, well, you're not getting the job, big man. Next candidate. Yeah? I think that's how that process, director of football works. Ultimately, we need success, mate. I'm sick to death.
You need to win football matches, mate, and unfortunately that's what's done it. That's what's done it. The last 2 football matches have ultimately been disappointment, mate. We've conceded 4 goals and scored 2 at Ibrox over 2 games. You know,
it's very disappointing. I just want us to be successful, and I think we all sing to the same hymn sheet, although maybe our opinions deviate. And how we're going to achieve that, I just want success for my club. I really just want success for my club.
I mean,
Pedro should have went that day at England. I woke up the next day morning very disappointed he was still in charge of Rangers. I couldn't believe they hadn't made the decision. But there must be things going on behind it. Well, we can't. What do we do? You know what I mean?
It's a hard call to take. I think that's the point. It's some of the point that Bridge is going to make. But I will tell you is Pedro's first home league match. I was with Fox at the game, and we walked in, and I spoke to him, and I said he'll know last day Christmas, and Fox can verify that.
Vouch for
it. Doing the typing.
See, one other thing I would like to say in regards to that. See, when we were linked with the guy, it was in the paper he was a James Bond type of figure. Straight away, the balls burst, because people are ridiculing him. He does ski and he does bullfight. You know what I mean? I don't want a manager that bullfights. I just want a manager that's successful and is a manager. Yeah. So straight away for the outset, it just didn't feel right. And then that result, that absolutely shocking result. We'll never ever live that down. But that's where we are. I just want a really good manager. A manager. George makes very pertinent points as well. A guy that's a manager, you know what I mean, that holds a wee bit of respect, who goes into the changing room and gives them what for when they need to pull their socks up, you know what I mean? I think
one is really to be more ruthless. Is that the word for it?
Oh, I think, look, that's the way the world's going. You've got to be ruthless now. That's it. It's dog eat dog. You see the other teams, they're ruthless with us. They don't care. So why should we care? Why should we be sentimental about things? Pardon the French, but fuck it. Let's get into them. Get right into them. And that starts with that manager. However he gets that message across for their players. You're talking about a Kevin Thompson. You're talking about a John Daly. George brought up a good point. Daly coming out, getting that first challenge. And when was the last time you seen that for a Rangers team? I can't remember. Honestly, maybe that Kyle Bartley was the last one. Or
to be fair, Murray had McCrory done it at Parkhead, didn't he? He wouldn't be messed about at Parkhead, you know, because he's got that physicality, you know.
Aye. Well, you're probably correct there, actually, in your assessment. We don't have him in the team. Who's going to do that on Saturday? we don't have a player in the team. So that's a player that we probably have to recruit first and foremost. Bridges always gone on about that big animal at a centre half. We need to find a big animal at a centre half and have that guy in the middle of the park as well, and supplement that with players that can play with your Dochertys, with your Murphys, with your Cumminses, with your Moraleses, and you have to have that steel. You spoke about Roy Keane and Patrick Vieira. That's why that Manchester United and Arsenal team were successful, because they had that steel in the middle of the park. You know what I mean? They had that bit of steel, and it's the same anywhere, man. It's the same anywhere. Look, gentlemen, thanks very much for taking my call. I've got a bit to do this morning. So
sorry for disturbing you for your work, Al.
No, it's not my work. I'm going to the shops, man. I'm
All
off
right,
today.
okay.
I've got a couple of things to do. I'm just sorting the garage out there.
All right,
So,
but Al, while
doing
you're
the
on
garage.
here, what about this ball tampering in Australia? Big news, is it?
Oh my God. Unbelievable, man. Unbelievable. Cheating bastards. Sorry for the French, but that's what the Aussies are saying. That's what no, trust me, the Aussies
Love it.
in team.
Just love
the
it.
Prime Minister's been in it. It's been in the Parliament. It's all over the news here. And I think they were doing it in the Ashes as well, weren't they, with sugar? Pockets full of sugar. and that,
Pocket full of sugar,
I
wonder if the press will be that much. There's a lot of ball tampering going on in this country, and there's a case coming up shortly about that.
I do a bit of ball tamper myself with 4 kids, you know what I mean?
Oh boy, what a crowd. Incredible.
Anyway. Is
Sorry,
your lad
big
still
man.
over here, Ox?
Yeah, he's in Melbourne at the moment, mate. He's back in Melbourne. He's got another 10 weeks, and then he's off to Singapore, Cambodia, Vietnam, Thailand, and Bali, I think.
Oh, excellent.
That drug running must pay you.
Aye.
You should have just said he's away at the Golden Triangle. Right,
Fox, did you get your order in?
Aye.
See you later, Al. Did you get your order all right?
Thanks again.
Aye.
All the best. Take care.
What a man.
Is that all right, mate? We should be more ruthless. Never mind the sentiment. Maybe it's all people like me. It's holding the club back, mate. I just think loyalty is a great thing, you know, and somebody that steps up to the plate because they don't make it shouldn't be sacrificed. That's just the way I feel.
Where do you stop, Fox? Where did you stop?
No, but I know, but show some loyalty to somebody, you know.
Have you not got to think about the big picture? I mean, obviously, George and Bridge, yourself, my family, we get tickets for the next season. That's what we do. But will everybody think like that?
No, probably not, mate. Probably not.
You've got a big picture to think, and then what happens is you play really well in the first game at Ibrox, the first game of the season, but you get beat 2-1. What happens then? That's the situation.
I'm no saying, mate, to keep him on as manager, but I just don't think we should just cast him aside. He's a good coach.
That's a different argument altogether. The club's got a responsibility to look after somebody to try to help them out, yeah?
Yep.
That's a different argument. Whether they'll be in the dugout with the first team, I don't know. George is away.
Oh, is he? Dog, mate, aye.
All right, okay. Bridge?
Yes, pal.
Aye. I mean...
You talking about sacking
no,
manager?
well, I'm saying that I think when Fox talks about loyalty, I don't necessarily mean that the guy might have to leave the club. He might want to leave because he might have a taste for it.
Yeah,
that's a different
what
thing.
I was meaning earlier. Yeah, absolutely. I think George and yourselves and other boys in the lobby and other Rangers fans will have an idea that they need and want a bit of quality in the manager's role. I don't know if our manager has that, shall we say, quality. He probably doesn't. Greatest respect to him. He may require another season to show everybody what he's made of. But then you could turn back the clock another 2 months ago, and we were saying the same thing. Let the man get to the end of the season. It's fast approaching, isn't it? I think there's a school of thought in the Rangers fans say, no, they want a real manager. And that's what their words are. They want a real manager. And I think I even heard Travelrog saying something like that. So we need to get someone, the board, need to go out and look. And they should have, if they want a manager, they should have already, I would imagine, approached said manager by tapping up or whatever means. But they should have made it known that they want him to come to Rangers, and because we don't want to get 2 days before the season starts and find that we don't have a manager, and then it's Mr. Murty, will you stay on for the rest of the season? You know what I mean? Either make the decision as quick as possible and make it smart.
If something that was to happen, Bridge, the support would turn on the board, mate. It wouldn't be the manager; it'd be the board fault.
Oh, I know that. I know. But the board can sometimes, you know this, the board can sometimes appear completely insular, you know, and nobody can talk to them, and they won't answer any questions until shall we say the annual AGM. And by the time the AGM comes around, things could have quietened down again. So there's great difficulties. I don't see the Rangers fans rebelling. I see them being upset if need be, but I don't see them rebelling. But
I know somebody he's quite a decent chap sometimes who sits quite close to the director's box at Ibrox, and I think he knows that when things aren't happy, the directors get the message. Fox.
Oh, did they? Aye, there's been a few outbursts this season during the Pedro campaign, mate, where they got it tight, and probably rightfully made the wrong choice. But as I said earlier in the programme, mate, I don't envy their choice, because I don't see a lot of good candidates out there. They've got to pluck for one if they're not getting it to Murty, and it'll be another gamble. We'll just have to wait to see how it pans out.
That'd be interesting, but I mean...
What we don't want, Ox, is we don't want another manager in who sees the job as a big job and gets paid well and doesn't really do his homework before he comes in. I hope we get somebody in that goes through the squad that we've got just now and really has a look at it, knows the job that's got to be done, and as I say, not just take the job because it's the Rangers' job. That's my fear, you know.
Aye, and Matt the Moose has just put something in the lobby about how things have changed. You're spot on, mate. It's the results that have changed the perspective on Graham Murty, and that, if he'd won the 2 games, the show would be different, the mood would be different, and how people think about him would be completely different.
Oh, without a doubt.
Yeah, you've got to say that. You do have to say that, don't you? It's quite sad. We're sitting here talking the possibility we're going to lose our manager at the end of the season. I think he's done, apart from the last 2 games, I thought he's been doing really well. To be honest with you, I know I'm bitterly disappointed we didn't win against the Celtic, but I think, in all honesty, I'm even more disappointed that we couldn't beat Kilmarnock. That is really bad. I think that's really, really bad. I know we've been at war with Celtic for a long number of years, and we've won and we've lost. We lost badly for me against them at Ibrox there, where a game we thought we could do something, and we looked as if we could do it, and all of a sudden we lost that. And that's hard to take. But no, that game against Kilmarnock was shocking. Just the result was absolutely dreadful for us. Absolutely dreadful.
8 points in the team. 8 points we've lost against Kilmarnock this season. Yeah.
But that game against Kilmarnock, as I said earlier, every week we lead up, and I've been saying, this is a huge game. This is a huge game. This is a huge game. We must win, even if it's 1-0. What I can't stomach is that Kilmarnock come up there, excuse me, and for a big chunk of the game they're playing an 11-man defence, and all of a sudden Mr. Boyd, the ball drops and Mr. Boyd puts the ball in the net, and he's done. I think he touched the ball 3 times in the whole game, and he put the ball in the net, and we've battered at our door, and we've done God knows how many chances, to the point where we didn't.
Doesn't it tell you that in the Sunday papers, does it? It just says Rangers 0, Kilmarnock 1.
Oh, well, under no illusions. That's why I'm saying that, to me, is the most disappointing result of the whole season. I know I can't stand them. I'd rather we beat them, but we put a good show up against them. But my God, we never put a show at all up against Kilmarnock, really.
That was a poor game, Bridge, wasn't it?
It was very poor. Very poor.
Can I ask you 2 years, and I know it's hypothetical, if we would have went and beat Celtic, did we beat Kilmarnock?
probably make players on a high.
Well, it's all about momentum, isn't it? If someone slams the door on the momentum, what are you going to do? You know, if you've not got the squad or the people, they just can't cope with it. That's what happened to our team. They looked as if they'd just frozen and never recovered from it. I mean, not only me, but many, yourselves included, have thought after the Celtic result, Rangers, Mr. Murty, you need to do some lifting up here. You know, you need to get the players up for it, get them into the training, make sure the training's right, and get in there and do what you need to do. Well, it's not happened. And here, we've came from that bad result, really bad result for us, and here we've waited another 2 weeks, and we're going to play a really tough game at the weekend against Motherwell. And goodness knows what's going to happen to our squad then. But if we lose against Motherwell, boy, it's going to go. It's going to go. The shit will hit the fan, I'll tell you. I think so, anyway.
Jang, we're good enough to finish second, Bridge.
Yes, I do, and I think we showed how good we were against Celtic. In my honest opinion, up until Celtic went down to 10 men. When we went down to 10 men, I think both the manager and, as I said earlier, both our manager and the team didn't know what to do, and we made either inactive or inaction by the manager to take advantage of that, and certainly inaction by the club and the football team rather, that they couldn't take advantage of it. And a fair dues to the team with 10 men. They've managed to hold out, they managed to fight through, and eventually won the game, which is a travesty for me, just a travesty. And we should be ashamed of ourselves. That happened. Well, from top to bottom, everybody, manager and team. Sorry.
What about you, Ox? I mean, we're going to play the top 6 shortly, mate, after these couple of games, and then we've got the Celtic semi-final, and then it's all tough teams. Are we good enough to finish second in your eyes?
Because of our results against Aberdeen, yes, but when you consider that Kilmarnock have took 8 points out of 12, 8 points out of 9 off us, you know, it's a real conundrum, folks. I think we've improved in last season. Whether because and it's all about maybe points total, and then you want to prove again. What's the difference between finish second and third? Well, I'd be upset if we finish third compared to second. No, really, I think we're still in Europe, aren't we? But we go on there.
As long as the top three, yeah. Yeah.
But for a pride point of view, I'd rather finish second and get above Aberdeen just to put them back in their box. But I wouldn't put my wages on it, Fox, if that makes any sense, you know, because we can lose points to anybody because we've been that inconsistent.
But we can also beat everybody as well. That's the problem, isn't it?
We've got as much chance of taking 8 points out the 15 as we have taken 15.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Well, I hope that this time we've got all the crappy stuff out of our system, and we go on with our job. The players, they go on with their job and do what they need to do. That's what they need to get rid of all that crap out of their mind.
Maybe we might be lucky, folks. It might be just this break that we don't like, the international break, and obviously the callers don't like it because they're busy watching international football after them wanting you to have a show on Friday night, folks.
I know.
But maybe it's actually suited us. You've got Dorrans, you've got McCrory, and always so that maybe gives that boost.
Lee Wallace.
It might just give that boost to get us out of line, if you like, where we want to be. Anyway, gentlemen, I don't know where that time's went, but it's time for shout-outs. Fox.
A big thank you for... I don't know if George has rejoined us or no. He's still on the line, but he had to pop off for a minute there. My shout-out goes to Old School Blue and his glamorous assistant who look after the major technicals on the platform. Thanks, a big shout-out for him, mate.
Good here. Old School Blue, one of the unseen heroes of Rangers Radio. Bridgeman.
Well, what can I say? It's been another fantastic evening, listening to you guys chatting away about things and taking part in it. And unfortunately, Al, I think, picked up with something the wrong way. So if I caused any confusion for you, I didn't mean it. But to other Rangers fans all over the world, in particular Rangers fans on here on Rangers Radio, everybody, every one of us, please keep it going for the Rangers, because the Rangers need it, and we need us. Cheers.
Here. Can I thank the two of you and George Logan for taking the time, and Big Al for phoning us for Australia. Always great to hear from the big man, one of Rangers Radio's characters. This has been Rangers Radio. We'll be back tomorrow night, hopefully with more news on our famous club, talking about all things Rangers. Thanks for listening in the lobby. Thanks for taking part. We'll be back tomorrow night. Take it away, folks.